Hey guys, Dan Pickar here with Eastmans Bow Hunting Journal and Beyond the Grid TV. Today we're going to do a bow review on the Prime Inline 1. Be sure you subscribe to the channel and check out all the bow reviews that we do. I love geeking out on all the new bows each year, and we do a lot of them, so be sure you get in on those, and sometimes we even do giveaways. You never know what's going to pop up. So right into the Prime Inline 1. They also have an Inline 3 and an Inline 5, all corresponding to the axle to axle. This is the 31 inch, of course the 33 for the 3 and the 35 for the 5. New this year, you'll see is a lot different actually, is the single cam. Prime bows for the past, I don't know how long, have been a dual cam bow, a parallel cam bow technology, and they've gotten away from that. Pretty cool new technology that they've created, and we'll get to that in a second. Also for this year is the Nano Grip, which is the aerogel technology, which was new last year. Really cool grip. It's basically a aerospace component in there that insulates your hand from the cold machined riser. So the longer you hold on to it, the warmer it gets. That's pretty sweet. Swerve in the riser. Other than that, this is a 7-inch brace height bow, so a little bit more forgiving than a lot of performance bows out there. Once again, this is a 31-inch axle to axle. IBO is 332, a little slower compared to some of the other bows, but once again, the brace height has a direct correspondence to that. The cool thing about this cam system is it has a sliding module, so you can adjust your draw length and your let off with your limb stop right here. You can adjust all that at home in a matter of seconds, really. So that's pretty slick to have. And you'll see it's very simplistic now, and which is good. I mean, as the boys at Prime say, as technology advances, things should become more simple, and I couldn't agree more. And that's what they kind of shot at this year, was to simplify. From the past, you have this parallel cam technology, and that basically alleviates any of that cam lean that you're going to have at full draw or in the resting position. And that is from the string tracks on either side of the cable, which is in the dead center of that cam, in the dead center of the axle as well. And so at full draw, that helps prevent that cam lean, hence the parallel cam technology. Now, what they did this year with the new technology is they accomplished the same thing, but they got rid of a cam. Less bulk, less weight, and becoming more simple, which is awesome. And so that brings us to the newest piece of technology for Prime and this bow, the Inline series, and that is the cable track. So you have the cable of your bows that are the driving power of your bow. This is where the load goes, and this is where all the energy is stored when you're at full draw. Right now in the resting position, the string and the cables are roughly 50% as far as the tension goes on this bow. So 50% of the tension is on the string right now, 50% is on the cables. As you draw that bow back, it starts shifting. So you have less and less tension on the string. You hit that peak and then that valley, and you have all that tension that comes off the string, and it's loaded up on those cables. And so you almost have quadruple the amount of tension and force loaded on your cables as you do to your string. So that's why you have that cam lean for most bows, because the cables, they're on one side of the cam, and you're not center in the axle, so it's off center. But with this inline technology, what they've done is created this ramp. They've machined a ramp in to the cam. So as you draw that bow back, your cable is becoming more in line with center. So by time you get to full draw, that cable is dead center in the middle of your axle, left and right, because of what they machined with the inline technology. So that prevents the cam lean and just makes a platform that is easier to tune. It's going to have less knock travel, and it's overall going to be a more accurate bow, plain and simple. So that's pretty cool technology. what we're going to do today is shoot it through the chronograph, see what kind of speeds we're getting, and maybe critique the draw cycle a little bit and just see how this bow feels on the shot. Okay, the two arrows that we're going to test today are the Aerotech MT300s. These arrows are weighing in 473. I was shooting and I just lost a vein, so these are normally 480 grains, so a pretty heavy arrow. Then also today I have from the Vector Custom Shop, the HMR 300s. A lot of weight up front and 4 fletch in the back. I got a steel, it's a 2-piece insert oversert. I got a steel insert and then this aluminum oversert. 586, so that's a really heavy arrow, 586 grains. So let's shoot these through the bow and see what kind of speeds we get. All right guys, 29-inch draw length. 7-inch brace, so it's a little more forgiving. I don't expect blistering speeds out of this bow, but I have a hunch it's going to be a nice bow to shoot. 29-inch draw, like I said, 70 pounds. Yeah, I guess that's all you really need to know. Let's see what it's like. Let's get this on. All right. All right, the draw's it's pretty stiff all the way back, and so you don't really notice the peak, and then it just kind of relaxes down into the valley. So yeah, it's nothing really stands out, but it's not, it's a short bow. 31-inch draw, harsher string angle than, like I say, the Inline 5 would be with a 35-inch axle, but it's gonna have some power. 271. So that's about right. I mean, that's a 473 grain arrow. We got a Trophy Ridge drop zone rest on there, black gold sight. Let's see what we can do. 271 was the first shot. It's a nice draw. I mean, it's pretty consistent all the way back from when you first get into the draw to the peak. It's just a nice, even, stiff draw right to the peak and then bloop down into the valley. So yeah, it's definitely a nice, easy, smooth draw. So I think we duplicated it. It said 2. So 271. Let's do one more just for good measure. Yeah, I did get a 274 earlier, and then that's when my Silent Night vein went flying off. All right, last shot. 272. So low 270s, really heavy arrow. Well, not really heavy, but heavy enough. 473, 7-inch brace, 29-inch draw, 70 pounds. Nice smooth draw cycle. I like it. Okay, the next arrow, we're gonna shoot this arrow from the Vector Shop, the HMR 300. Some heavy components. We got steel up front in the insert, aluminum oversert, 110 grain point, 4 fletched, fusion vanes. This it's heavy. Up in the 580s, that's a heavy, heavy arrow. This is really going to slow down this bow a lot, being that it's so heavy, but it should quiet it down as well. And it'll be a penetrator, plain and simple. It's a good arrow for heavy bone. 248. Okay. Yeah, so we lost 20 feet per second, 25-ish feet per second. And that's probably what we're about 100 grains heavier. So that kind of shows you what we're working with there. We'll shoot it one more time. See if we can't duplicate it. Once again, 586, I think is what this arrow weighed. So there you have it, 248 with this 586 grain arrow, I think is what it was. That's a heavy bugger. Prime Inline 1, new for 2020. Be sure you click this like button, check out our channel, subscribe. We always have new content coming out. Watch them Beyond the Grids too, and we'll see you on the next one.